Good, happy Monday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, flooding from Harvey continues. 2 feet of rain expected. Floodwaters reached the roof lines of a single-story home Monday, and people could be heard pleading for help from inside as Harvey kept pouring rain on Houston area after a chaotic weekend of rising water and rescues. The nation's fourth largest city was still largely paralyzed, and there was no relief in sight from the storm that spun into Texas as a Category 4 hurricane, then parked itself over the Gulf Coast with nearly 2 feet of rain still expected. Authorities worried whether the worst was yet to come. Governor Greg Abbott has activated the entire Texas National Guard response to Harvey, bringing a total of number of deployed guardmen to roughly 12,000, he said Monday. Previously, he had mobilized about 4,000 troops. Houston Police Chief Art says 2,000 people have been rescued from flooding in the city. 185 requests for help are still pending. FEMA administration Brock Long said he expects the storm will drive about 30,000 people into shelters and 450,000 people will seek some sort of disaster assistance. The National Weather Service warns that flash flood emergencies are effects for some areas, and the rain, which can be measured by feet rather than inches, is not letting up. Emergency vehicles made up most of the traffic Monday in downtown Houston. The normal bustling business district was virtually deserted. Many traffic signals did not work, and most businesses were closed. Elsewhere, water gushed from two reserves overwhelmed by Harvey as officials sought to release pressure on a pair of dams that were at risk of failing from the imminent flood waters that filled the city. The move aimed at protecting the downtown business district risked flooding thousands more homes. Meanwhile, rescues continued plunking people from floodwaters. At least 2,000 so far, according to Houston Police Chief Art. At least 185 critical rescues requests were still pending. On Monday, the goal to rescue those people by the end of the day. With rain falling unbeaten, he said there was nowhere left for water to drain. The rising waters forced a massive evacuation of parts of the city Sunday and overwhelmed rescues who could not keep up with the constant calls for help. As many as 50 counties are affected by the flooding. Federal Emergency Management Director Brock Long said Monday the storm has been blamed for at least 2 deaths. Red Cross quickly set up Houston's George R. Brown Convention Center and other venues as shelters. The convention center, which was also used as a shelter for Katrina refugees in 2005, can accommodate roughly 5,000 people. By Monday morning, it had already reached half its capacity, Red Cross said. Residents living near Atticus and Baker reserves, which were created to prevent flooding in downtown Houston, were warned Sunday that a controlled release would cause additional street flooding that could spill into homes. The rising water and ongoing rain put pressure on dams, which could fail if pressure is not relieved. Harrison-Fort Bend County officials advised residents to pack their cars Sunday night and leave in the morning. The Armed Corps of Engineers started the reserve's release before 2 a.m. Monday ahead of schedule because water levels were increasing at a rate of more than 6 inches per hour, Corps spokesman said. Officials said in southern Fort Bend County issues mandatory evacuation orders late Sunday along the Bazars River Levee district as the river rose to major flood stage. The National Weather Service predicted that water could rise to 59 feet. That much water would top the levels and carries a threat of levee failure, County Judge Robert Herbert said. In Cypress Forest estimates neighboring in northern Harris County, people called for help from inside their homes as water from a nearby creek climbed to the same levels as their eaves, a steady process of rescue boats floating into the area. And we will keep you updated on all of this as we get more news about Houston and all this situation. Just devastating. In other news around here, we have some breaking news here in New Hampshire. I-93 South closed in Londonderry after concrete falls from bridge. Interstate 93 South was closed Monday at exit 4 because of debris falling from a bridge that was red listed in 2015. Traffic was detoured off exit 5 onto Route 28, and Route 128 southbound traffic was backed up to well before exit 5. Officials said a piece of the concrete fell from the New Hampshire Route 102 bridge that spans over I-93 about 1:40 p.m. The concrete smashed into pieces on the highway and was run over by multiple vehicles. According to New Hampshire State Police, one vehicle sustained hood damage. Officials said the debris was cleaned up immediately. Inspectors are checking the bridge now. Crews plan to install protective shielding under the bridge to catch any additional falling debris, officials said. Officials said the piece of concrete that fell was not a structural component of the bridge, which was built in 1962. It will be replaced by a new bridge, which is already under construction for 2018. Officials said they expect the highway to be closed throughout the night. No injuries have been reported. This is a developing story. Stay tuned for updates. Girl 7 choked, thrown from bridge after being kidnapped from party, police say. A Worcester man is accused of kidnapping a 7-year-old girl from a family party, choking her and throwing her off a bridge and into a lake early Sunday morning, police said. The girl was at a family party at Worcester at her grandparents' house on 4th Rosedale Road when she was taken at 2:30 a.m. from the home by a family friend without the permission of her parents, police said. She was put in a car, choked, and thrown off an Interstate 290 bridge into Lake Quasagamond, police said. The victim survived the drop and swam to shore in Shrewsbury, where she was found with visible but non-life-threatening injuries. Joshua Herbert, 35, was arrested and charged with kidnapping. He was arraigned Monday at Worcester District Court and ordered held without bail pending a dangerousness hearing. Worcester police are asking business and residents in the Lincoln Street area who have exterior cameras to review footage from Sunday between 2 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. Investigators are looking for any video footage that may have captured a light-colored Saturn loan that could be in the area during that time frame. Crash slows traffic on I-295 in Portland. A crash near Turks Bridge slowed traffic on I-295 in Portland Monday afternoon. The crash was reported in the southbound lanes just below the bridge. The left lane was blocked, backing up traffic in both directions. Officials said the lane reopened to traffic at 2 p.m. No other details about the crash were available. And we are following some breaking news. Japanese government warns North Korea missile headed toward northern Japan, report says. The Japanese government has warned that a North Korean missile is headed toward the northern end of the country, according to Japanese broadcast NHK. This is a developing story. Check back for further updates. And let's see how your markets closed for this evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 index closed in the green and went up. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the red and went down. U.S. 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed to flat, and VIX closed in the green and went up. And in business news, reform stocks rise after Harvey hits Houston. Dow closed lower. Shares of oil refinery companies rose on Monday after Tropical Storm Harvey forced refineries in Houston to shut down. Harvey, a hurricane that was later downgraded to a tropical storm, ravaged Houston and other parts of Texas over the weekend, with more than 30 inches of rain falling in some parts in just 48 hours. Houston is home to several major refineries in the U.S. Trump signed letter of intent for Russia Tower during campaign, lawyer says. 4 months into his campaign for President of the United States, Donald Trump signed a letter of intent to pursue a Trump Tower